This Tucker Carlson story is a big deal. Again, I don't have any inside info from Tucker. We don't, we work at Fox, but we don't work together. We're in different locations. But I'm increasingly growing concerned, folks, that we are turning into a massive surveillance state, no different than the Chinese Communist Party. You can take that for whatever it is. Hyperbole, I don't care. I'm not trying to impress people or cater to the Washington Post op-ed column. If the Tucker Carlson story, which he alleges that he's being spied on by the NSA, is true, then, folks, we are descending into Chinese Communist Party surveillance state madness at a rate even I didn't expect. And believe me, I'm a pessimist when it comes to the government. And the saddest part is the media loves it. The media is doing nothing about this. The media has an attitude now that we love government spying as long as they're spying on Republicans and conservatives. So I covered the story yesterday. Tucker had a follow-up last night on his show where they called the NSA, Paul Nakasone, the head of the NSA, and they started asking questions. Are you spying on me, Tucker Carlson? Because you, according to Tucker, they have emails of his that nobody else has, and someone read him the emails. Here was Tucker last night on this, and I want you to pay very close attention to the end, and I want you to ask yourself this question. One, is he being spied on? The evidence seems pretty strong at this point. And second, if he's not being spied on, then why can't the NSA issue a categorical denial? Check this out.
Just minutes before air tonight, the NSA sent us an infuriatingly dishonest formal statement, an entire paragraph of lies written purely for the benefit of the intel community's lackeys at CNN and MSNBC, all those people they hire with the titles on the screen. They also tweeted it out a few minutes ago. Now, last night on the show, we made a very straightforward claim. NSA has read my private emails without my permission, period. That's what we said. Tonight's statement from the NSA does not deny that. Instead, it comes with this non sequitur. In part, quote, Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency. Okay, glad to know. But the question remains, did the Biden administration read my personal emails? That's the question that we asked directly to NSA officials when we spoke to them about 20 minutes ago in a very heated conversation. Did you read my emails? And again, they refused to say. Again and again. And then they refused even to explain why they couldn't answer that simple question. We can't tell you, and we won't tell you why we can't tell you. My emails. And the message was clear. We can do whatever we want. We can read your personal texts. We can read your personal emails. We can send veiled threats your way to brush you back if we don't like your politics. We can do anything. We're our own country, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. We're in charge. You're not.
Folks, having worked inside the government as a GS 1811 federal agent myself, I can tell you my biggest fear is big government. No, I'm not kidding. Big, expansive, uncontrollable, non-civil liberties respecting government is my biggest fear, hands down. There's not even a silver medalist. If Tucker Carlson isn't being spied on by the NSA, then how is someone at the NSA reading his emails or a whistleblower reading his emails? How? I'm going to explain to you why and what I think is going on here. It's something I've addressed. Joe may remember this because we've been on it for a long time. It's something I've addressed now for probably close to 5 years because I know exactly what they're doing if this is happening and how they're doing it. In fairness to the NSA, let's put up their statement on the screen if you wouldn't mind. If you're watching on Rumble, you can read along at home, rumble.com/Bongino. I'll read it for you. The NSA issued this statement. On June 28th, Tucker Carlson alleged that the NSA had been monitoring his electronic communications and planning to leak them in an attempt to take the show off the air. They say this allegation is untrue. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to try and take his program off the air. NSA, pay attention to this part. NSA has a foreign intelligence mission. We target foreign powers to generate insights on foreign activities that can harm the United States. With limited exceptions, e.g. an emergency, NSA may not target a U.S. citizen without a court order that explicitly authorizes the targeting. You may be reading this if you're a liberal probably or a media person who's fundamentally uncurious, and you may say to yourself, well, Dan, that sounds like a denial to me. Notice this line, though. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency. And then it says NSA has a foreign intelligence mission. Well, Harmeet Dillon, who is a very talented lawyer and a friend, Harmeet Dillon was on with Tucker Carlson afterwards. She is a brilliant lawyer. And Harmeet Dillon explained a couple of things that, again, I've been talking about in this show for a long time. When I ran for office, ladies and gentlemen, you can look it up. It's not virtue signaling or, hey, look at me stuff. I hate that crap. When I ran for office as a Republican, I ran against the Patriot Act, despite the fact that George W. Bush, a Republican, was the one who signed the Patriot Act. I felt strongly at the time, and I feel today, that it has expanded government surveillance powers in a dangerous way through things like business records provisions that could be used to spy on anyone for pretty much any reason. I never liked the Patriot Act. Patriot Act gave the government powers it doesn't need. You want to spy on someone? Get a warrant. It's called the Fourth Amendment. It's not hard. Well, Harmeet Dillon talks about a couple things here. She mentions the two-hop rule or the hop rule, where when you're spying on someone in the NSA, not only you get their stuff overseas, but you can get people that they talk to and then people those people talk to. What's been called the two-hop rule, the hop rule. So if I'm talking to Guy and I'm a target, they can target Guy and then whoever Guy talks to as well. Listen to Harmeet talk about that. And second, again, something we've mentioned for years now. I want you to listen to when she talks about this reverse targeting. How, the NSA said in its statement, oh, we have a foreign intelligence mission. I'll tie this up for you in a minute. You're going to want to miss this. Well, what if you wanted to target Tucker and Tucker talked to someone in a foreign government and then you claim with air quotes, well, we're targeting foreign intelligence, the person Tucker talked to, but then you rope Tucker into it too. That's called reverse targeting. Listen to Harmeet Dillon eloquently explain this on Tucker's show last night. Check this out.
If you are able to find out more information about this, I think what you're going to find is that you are being described as incidental. So the gathering of your information is going to be because they're really focusing on somebody else. But I want to really break that down. When you look at the Carter Page violations, for example, the lies to the FISA court, does anybody think that the national security apparatus was trying to find out Carter Page's activities and communications? No. The trick is, if they can get a surveillance order on an individual, what they're able to do is scoop up all of the communications of all of the people who reach out to that person, text them even without any predicate. And so that's really where it's at.
Did you hear it? She just described what I've been warning you about for years. When you give these entities the ability to scoop up domestic data, they will use it. They will use it. This reverse targeting is a very big deal. Yes, the NSA has a foreign intelligence mission and an important one. But when in the realm of that foreign intelligence mission, they are scooping up data. When you give people that kind of data, access to it will be abused. If this example isn't strong enough, Guy and Joe, you got to stop me because it's important. The NSA, let's say you wanted to target Tucker Carlson. I'm not saying that happened here. I'm just giving you an example because it has happened in the Spygate case, and we know that. If you want to target Tucker, forget everything else. That's your goal. And then Tucker takes a trip overseas and talks to a foreign leader. Somebody sits around a table and goes, hey, I got an idea. We can scoop up this foreign leader's emails, and they'll probably have emailed Tucker. And then we can read Tucker's stuff too. Genius. And then we'll tell him we were targeting the foreigner. Well, did that happen? Well, I've got an idea. Keith, throw up that tweet by Tucker if you wouldn't mind. Does this have something to do with it, folks? And how the NSA and others may allegedly have gotten a hold of Tucker Carlson's emails? Here's a March 16th tweet from Tucker Carlson. We are live from El Salvador. We just finished sitting down with President Bukele for our new Tucker Carlson original series coming to Fox Nation. There were many newsworthy moments we'll share tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox News. Folks, take the time and date down. You heard it here first. Is that what happened? Was the NSA and other entities looking into Tucker Carlson and figured his conversation with a foreign leader in El Salvador off U.S. soil might be a perfect opportunity to get their mitts on Tucker's emails and communications? Somebody has them. Somebody read the emails and text to Tucker Carlson. And obviously, Tucker didn't send them to the NSA, and the recipient didn't either, according to Tucker's story. So how did they get them?
Sounds familiar, dude. Yeah,
Doesn't it, Joe? Sounds like the
Yeah.
Spygate case you and I only talked about for 3 years with Carter Page, Mike Flynn, and others.
My man.
Oh, yeah, they were talking to Mike Flynn, was talking to the Russian ambassador. But don't worry, we weren't listening to Flynn. We were listening to the Russian ambassador, and it was just an accident. It was incidental that we scooped up Mike Flynn. Joe, total accident. Total accident. How did we get Flynn? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We were just listening to the Russian ambassador, and Flynn hopped on the phone. Right. It is. The intelligence. He was not an intelligence target. Can you put that up again? Put up the NSA statement again. He was very carefully worded. Notice it doesn't say we have not read Tucker Carlson's emails. It doesn't say that. He's got it up on the screen again. It says Tucker has never been an intelligence target of the agency. Well, according to the agency and the FBI, either was Mike Flynn. Remember their statement? We weren't targeting Flynn. It was an accident. We were targeting the Russian ambassador. Oh, the language. Joe, how many times have we heard this story? We've heard this story before. Now you wonder why me, as a former 1811 Fed myself, I'm terrified of this stuff? I've seen the power of the government up front, close and personal. Folks, you have the power to take someone's life and freedom away. Even the president doesn't have that power. This is a big deal. Are we abusing this stuff? Again, I don't know if Tucker's story is true. However, I do know if it was Brian Stelter making those allegations and the president was Trump, that this would be a front page story all over the globe. Guaranteed. But because it's a conservative, nobody cares. Keep in mind, like I said, I have no relationship with Tucker. I've had like 2 conversations with him. This is not like, oh, you're just backing up your boy. He's not my boy. We barely know each other. If this story was about Tucker Carlson or Chuck Todd, I'd be covering it with the same intensity. Like I said, I don't speak with forked tongue. I ran for office against the Patriot Act. You can go listen to the tapes from 10 years ago. This isn't new to me. Not one of these fake virtue signaling, new pseudo-libertarians who all of a sudden, when it was Trump, they didn't like the Patriot Act, but they loved it before. I've been there on the ground in this fight for a long time. Did the NSA use one of Tucker's trips overseas to grab his emails? It's a serious question.